Living their past in you. This is my, I'd like to talk today about living their past in you. Think of a train. A train is traveling along. It has its caboose. It has the front. It has the guy who's basically controlling the train. And along the way, you got the carriage, all the passengers in the carriage. Now, the way trains are, you can always go from one carriage to the next by opening up the door, closing the door within between, and going to the next carriage. Taking the assumption along life that people are going to be consistently living. They it's like when people have a issue and they go to the hospital, they go to get it fixed so that it can be living. They can be alive again. They can feel alive, right? If a person begins to lose their, let's say, their ear, the lungs start to give out, they get resuscitated. The thing is about people, how they live and what lives inside of them. Some people have, and an aggressive move to not being able to as much as control the past, because when they were back then, the past, wherever what was going on that time, controlled them to a large degree. As they move away from the effect of what took place, they are now able to make vows on the inside. And those vows basically protects them. It is their shield. It is what they would call, I've grown in wisdom. Well, for some people, they didn't really grow in wisdom. They just basically either became enlightened or they became jaded to the point where they're willing and ready for the next thing that comes along that closely resembles what most impacted their life. And that person that closely resembles what they knew, they have to find a way to change up their face and what they're wanting to do with that person. See, when we have back and forth with people in any kind of relationships, we're entering in on totally different levels. Some people enter into a relationship, you basically sit in a person, you're having something to eat, you're talking, you're laughing, and you're doing it on a level of where you are present, right? Some people are not in the present. And so what they begin to do, they slowly begin to hold your hand. And then I'm talking about spiritually, they hold your hand and slowly begin to guide you back with them. That now they have somebody who either will empower them in their lives or someone who will now participate in their future. And all the things that have been telling themselves all along, they begin to place it on you. They have to do it. They have to make sure that if they're going to live their past right now in and through you, they have to have a reason, and beyond a reasonable shadow of the doubt, they have to convince you that this is normal for both of us to have right now. The thing is about people who want to live their past through you and in you, you at some point, if you're more of a healthier person, you'll say, how did I get here? Because what they do is they will get you to go along the lines of how did we get here? The we becomes part of the major part, is a major part of the equation by which they're able to trap you into playing out the past. They're looking for resolutions, yes. Are they looking for some sort of absolution and resolution? Yes. You're not the person for it. See, psychologists, a lot of the time when they get people to replay what they're going through, the psychologist is smart enough to shield him or herself from the patient. When you are not in that role with them, you are role playing. And what happens, they will test your patience because they're not your patient. And in order to test it, they have to test you to see whether or not you're going to start to react from what they remember in the past. One little snippet of your reaction starts a further reaction from them. Their past has power. Their past has power because the power was the impact. What slowly begins to happen that a person who's playing their past through you, the bombs begin. They slow little bits of erosion of your stability. They have to shake your foundation and get you into theirs. You're now entering into their house, their world. In the process of doing so, it turns out to be a survivalist kind of mentality with two people. And it goes from how did I get here to how do we deal with this? See, now this is a trap because you are never, ever, ever should be in a position to even ask a person who is literally pulling you in and sucking you into a trap to ask, how do we deal with this? And what they will be looking for more than anything else, based upon your humanity and your maturity, they're going to be looking for you to apologize for something that happened to them. We as human beings, we're not in any position to apologize for anything unless we have ourselves have done something without being egged on to do it. As the term says about reactive abuse, people react from an abuse. If someone comes up to you and they treated you a certain way, you are going to naturally react to it. Dead people on the inside don't react. That is what makes us as human beings. For the most part, we as human beings are emotional beings. And even though some may ascend beyond emotions, emotions are still part of the many facets of our brain and how it operates. So I like to keep my conversation short. You will always know that you've enter in a situation where you're being playing out. It's like someone's basically wants to play a game with you and you're on the board game. Like let's say Monopoly. I don't know if you remember that, right? Throw the dice, make your move. The dice usually a lot of times is the bait. Take heed to yourself of those people who are playing out because emotions are a very telling thing with people. You will always, if you notice a person, even something that's very light in a conduct between you and that person, if their emotions go in the avenue of getting cold, or they wanna lash out at you, or they can't be reasonable, and they can't sit down, and they can't even come to terms with their own role in anything that's going on, you have entered into the past with them. And this is what they're doing. I'm going to leave you with this. I would trust that you would like and subscribe my videos. And I'll leave you with this. Go and study and look up the word projection. Projection is a very powerful tool by which those who are manipulating you, slowly molding you and getting you into a position to begin to enter in their world. And most of the time, you're going to feel very off. The things about people who are so about getting you to play the past with them is that they are completely off. Some people say they're off the rockers. They're completely off. The switch can never ever be turned on in their lives because they can't get over the hump of the death And that is what the off switch is. Off means no power. The power that they have is to flip your switch to off. So you both can begin to speak the same language. Have a good day.